Hey guys, welcome back to the tabletop. Briefly, I just want to, before I go into my demonstration on how to getting from to the trap to the strainer, real quickly, what I do to connect these. These come with nuts, they come with washers. And depending upon who the manufacturer is, they're either going to give you a rubber washer, as I have in here, a little rubber washer, or I prefer the nylon ones actually. They're beveled. And once you put them on there, now what I like to do is I like to lubricate this with a little pipe joint compound. You just put a little lubrication around here. I tell you, even if you use waterproof grease to allow the nut to really turn freely, once you get this in here, I mean, you can literally hand tighten these things, and this thing is not going to go anywhere. So that's how I like to connect my my joints. You have a choice. You can use the rubber washer or the nylon washer. I prefer the nylon washer. That's just my preference. And if you lubricate these joints, allowing the nut to really run up all the way, you're going to be leak free, guaranteed. The other thing I wanted to mention is this. How do you cut this stuff? I cut it with a tubing cutter. Now the tubing cutter is a great tool, but I do this for a living, and don't forget, this is a very expensive tool. In lieu of the tubing cutter, a hacksaw works fine. What you're going to be looking for is a hacksaw blade with 32 teeth per inch. That's 32 teeth per inch on the hacksaw blade, which will give you a very fine cut and little filing or smoothing over to do. If you use a 24 teeth per inch or use a 12 teeth per inch blade, it's going to be a sloppy, horrible cut. So 32 teeth per inch on the hacksaw, or if you're so inclined, you can go out and spend a few bucks and get a tubing cutter. Okay, now what I have here is my swing T-trap. This trap here goes from 2-inch IPS going out. Coming in, we have 1.5-inch tubular. And this trap allows me to connect two sinks. One, my master sink, and my auxiliary sink. Okay, so in a case where you have an auxiliary sink, you would probably use this, which is this long waistband I showed you in the previous video, which is about 24 inches long. And you can cut these. You cut them with the tubing cutter, you cut them with the hacksaw. But generally, the auxiliary sink is going to be somewhere, you know, a minimum of 18, maybe a maximum of 24 inches, you know, to one side or the other. And that's how you would go about this. And same method, inside here, you either have a rubber washer or a nylon washer. Same thing in here. They all come with washers. And I would recommend, again, I recommend lubricating the threads up. And then once you have your distance here, you can use your tailpiece to hook in your auxiliary sink as such. And you could also use your dishwasher tailpiece to hook in your master sink. And this will allow you to hook up your dishwasher hose right here. So again, this is going straight in. This would go and come straight into this strainer. And in a situation where I'm doing this new, I like to rough these in where I go straight in, and I don't have any offsets or any turns. The least number of turns you can do this with, the better. But that's not always possible. If I'm doing this new, I try to get it dead on all the time. But in the real world, you're probably replacing or just retrofitting an existing job, and you're gonna have this situation here. And depending upon what this distance is from center to center, an offset may work as such. Again, this is cut in the middle. If I were to cut this shorter and this piece longer, I would make it over this way. So that's where you cut the offset is going to be determined how far away the strainer is. Now you have a limit. You're not going to be able to go great distances with an offset. And if you can't make it with an offset, what you're going to do is you're going to use your waistbands. So you'll have one waistband this way. Again, you're going to cut this with your hacksaw or your tubing cutter. You'll cut this, and then you'll make the transition through use of your tailpiece into the strainer like this. There's really no mystery to this. Now, this is a 2-outlet or 2-inlet P-trap, swing T-trap. Again, 2-inch IPS, 1.5" tubular. These are also made without the side outlet. It just goes from 2-inch to 1.5" tubing. Without this, you can do that if you're so inclined, or in today's world, it's the good old PVC trap. So the PVC trap comes 2-inch PVC, and then we make the transition to tubular through use of a bushing. This is a 2-inch by 1.5" bushing, which would get glued inside the trap. Then we will glue the spigot end of this adapter. So this adapts from PVC to threaded 1.5", and this also comes with a nut, and this nut has a built-in nylon washer on it, so you're able to make the transition, and then this will allow you to go to tubing. So you're able to put your tubing in here. Now it doesn't have to be the tailpiece. Again, depending upon where you're going, you could have your offset like this, and you will have the other end of your offset like this. Okay, then I'm going to push this down a little bit because I'm running out of camera space. This will allow you to connect to your strainer. Again, so this is how this would be done. Very simple, no mystery. Now I'll be doing some live demonstrations underneath actual sinks to give you a little better perspective on it, but I just wanted to do it up on the tabletop because I think you'll get a better understanding of it. And that's pretty much it, guys. The only other thing I'll show you real quickly, now what I'm showing you here, this trap and this trap is something you would see in a kitchen application. Most kitchen sinks, 2-inch outlet, 1.5" coming in. In the bathroom or in the lavatory, you're going to be dealing mostly with chrome. 1.5" tubular. This is 1.5" tubular. And this 1.5" tubular transitions to 1.25" because the pop-ups on the faucets in your bathroom are 1.25". So this particular case, we have a P-trap here, and we have a reducing washer. So this is an 1.5" washer on the outside, and on the inside it's 1.25". So we can transition to an 1.25" tailpiece, which is going to allow me to make the transition to the pop-up. Now these are a little tight, as you can see, but I don't want to waste any time. This will slip on. It's getting stuck on the threads, and that's could become an issue. But this would go in as such. You would go into that reducing washer, and by tightening this up with a nylon washer, that would sit in there nice and snug. Now, the offsets, just like I showed you the offsets in brass, they also come in chrome in 1.25". So they come in two different sizes. They come 1.25" chrome plated, they come 1.5" rough brass. These also come PVC. So you have a lot of choices out there, guys. So again, I just wanted to demonstrate this for you on the tabletop. We'll be doing some live demonstrations underneath sinks so I can show you in real time how it goes when I'm doing a repair. But if you have any questions, please, guys, email me, info@bobsplumbingvideos.com. And the best thing I can tell you, the best advice I can give you guys is this. Take a picture of what you have. Take digital photos, as many as you want. Email them to me, and I will send you back a detailed layout on what to do and what materials to buy and just what you're going to need to tie in your particular sink, because every situation is different. Guys, I want to thank you for stopping by. As always, I appreciate you coming by. I hope you're enjoying the content on the website. Please, write me suggestions on what you want to see and make comments. Again, I want to thank you for coming by. This is Bob from bobsplumbingvideos.com. I hope to see you guys in the next video.